With just 3 races remaining in the 2013 season, the intensity has picked up. If you haven't been to Victory Lane, there's only 3 more opportunities to get there. Racing under the lights at Texas Motor Speedway, something that all drivers look forward to as we look at our Camping World track description.
What a great racetrack. 24-degree bankings here in the corner, but the transitions going into and out of the corners sometimes can cause some problems. They flatten out a little bit. It was reconfigured several years ago, and it's better now, but still the transitions are a little bit abrupt.
We're going to go about 52 to 57 laps before we make a pit stop. We're going to make 3 of those, keep some fresh tires on the truck, excuse me. But I tell you, Phil, you talked about the track description. Drafting is going to be a big part of tonight, too. You could really gain on guys and maybe make the old slingshot pass at the end of the straightaway.
More stories that we're going to be covering. We go back down to pit road and Hermie Sadler.
Well, Brad Keselowski is a Sprint Cup Series champion. He's also a Nationwide Series champion, but he is winless as a driver in the Camping World Truck Series. There are 23 drivers that have won in all 3 of NASCAR's top divisions. Brad Keselowski is not one of those. He's going to try to remedy that tonight. We talk about the Cup stars coming into this series. When Brad Keselowski has raced with Kyle Busch in the same race in the Camping World Truck Series, Kyle Busch has won, outrun the 19 of 21 times. Brad hopes to turn that around tonight at Texas. Ray?
You know, Hermie, back in 2002, Brendan Gaughan won both races here at the Texas Motor Speedway, and he was a rookie that year. In fact, he's the only one that has ever done it as a rookie. Jeb Burton hopes to add his name to that list tonight. Jeb Burton's had a great season this year, and he's on the pole tonight. But let's look at the other rookies that have gone to Victory Lane this year. It's also an impressive list. Young Kyle Larson, Blaney, Chase Elliott, and, of course, the big win last week for Darrell Wallace Jr. But guess what? If Jeb Burton's going to do it tonight, he's going to have to break a long-standing run. We've gone 27 races without a win from the pole in the Camping World Trucks.
And that has been amazing. Since last year, no one has won the pole and gone on to get to Victory Lane. We're going to ride along with a few different trucks. Take us through them, guys.
Yeah, why not ride with our point leader, Matt Crafton? He knows what he has to do. He's got a huge point lead in the driver thing, but he said, hey, I'm here to win races. We have to win that owner's championship. He has a 15-point cushion, and right now he's concentrating on getting that thing, and he will drive at Menards Toyota, and he will start back in the 14th spot.
Let's hop up a row, Phil, to Dakota Armstrong. He qualified 12th in the Winfield Chevy. Dakota likes to go fast. He's like Ricky Bobby. He was 3rd last year at Michigan, fast track. 5th 2 weeks ago at Talladega, very fast track. And Texas is a place where you hold a lot of gas to it. Watch for Dakota to have a strong run.
We really felt like Miguel Paludo had the best truck at Kansas. He got taken out in an accident with his teammate James Buescher. He's had 4 top 10 finishes on the 6.5 miles this year, and he will start that Anderson's Maple Syrup Chevrolet up front from the 4th spot.
Is this the view that you want to see? This is Jeb Burton. He's starting on the pole. He's got a beautiful sight out the front of that Arrowhead Chevy. Confidence, that's what this young man has. Loves the way this track's set up for his truck. He's starting on the outside. We'll lead these trucks down into turn 1. Let's go on board with another truck. Maybe talk to Brad Keselowski and see what Brad's thinking as we roll toward this green. Brad, you're coming to the green in that beautiful truck. Are you ready to race these boys?
Let's execute. Get her in Victor Lane. Good pit stops. I'll do the best I can for you here behind the wheel. I know you gave me a great truck, so thank you, Chad. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, Brad, it's Michael up at the Fox Sports 1 booth. I know you've got a great truck under you. Ready to race these boys tonight?
Yes, sir. Ready to roll here in Texas, man, under lights. It's been a long time since I ran a truck race here, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
You thinking you're going to have to be able to run up high to win this race, or is the line going to be right down on the bottom?
Well, for short run, it's definitely going to be on the bottom, but, you know, with the draft and the trucks, I think it's going to be wherever that other guy isn't in the corners and then right behind him down the straightaway.
Well, pull the belts tight in that draw tight forward and go get them, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, just so you know there.
And a little more communication going between crew chief and driver.
I bet you he's about ready for me to get off the radio.
Probably was.
They got a race to win, man.
Yeah. His last truck race here back in 2005.
Don't you love what he said, though? He talked about the draft. He talked about how you're going to have to go where they aren't in the corners. The line in qualifying was dead on the bottom of the racetrack, but as these tires wear in, you'll see these guys wandering around up in the turns.
And if you don't remember, Brad Keselowski started driving for his family-owned team that was here in the Camping World Truck Series way back when and wasn't able to get to Victory Lane. Now He's driving for his own team, and hopefully he can get to victory lane tonight.
He's been second 5 times in the Truck Series.
Jeb Burton, Justin Lofton come through the quad oval at Texas Motor Speedway. Green flag in the air. We're underway.
Whoa.
Ty Dillon decides to make it 3 wide as they go into turn number 1.
Wow, Dillon got a great start. Looked like maybe he gave Lofton a little bit of a push, Phil. A lot of times when he starts and restarts, they will try to bump draft. It didn't work out good for Lofton, but Dillon grabs the lead.
How about Brendan Gaughan now on the inside of the racetrack, also making some moves side by side with Jeb Burton in the Ford truck.
Fighting for that 3rd spot. A little bobble out of Brendan Gaughan. Has to check up just a bit. That allows Jeb Burton to get in front of him as they come out of turn 4 and cross the stripe for the first time. Ty Dillon in front.
Remember, Ty Dillon is the only guy that's been able to beat Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski on a 1.5 miles.
But I tell you, Phil, there's a couple of trucks let's watch tonight. One of them is Brendan Gaughan, really strong truck in the long run. And also Miguel Paludo. We've seen a lot of speed from him on the 1.5 miles, and he particularly likes this truck tonight. Keep your eye on those guys.
And how about Max Gresham? Max Gresham on that start jumps all the way up to 2nd, tailing Ty Dillon.
And didn't Kyle Busch start outside the top 10?
He sure did.
How's he doing?
He's made his way up into almost the top 5.
He's 4th.
Hey, he's 4th now.
That's a pretty good start, huh?
2 laps in, 4th for Kyle Busch.
And he's moved up the racetrack a little bit too, as Miguel Paludo has.
You know, Phil, the reason why he was able to do that is because he did just what Brad Keselowski said. He went where they weren't. He got to the corner. If they were down on the bottom, he went to the top and made some great moves.
And we're hearing that the 57 is going to be posted for changing lanes before the start.
Yeah, he will have to come down pit road and serve a penalty. See side-by-side battle right now for the 5th spot. Justin Lofton moves up beside the 62 of Brendan Gaughan to try to take over 5th.
Brendan Gaughan staying on that high line, which is a familiar sight for Brendan Gaughan. We see him normally riding right up against the wall at most racetracks.
A lot of drivers, you have to really encourage them to go up high. We have to encourage Brendan to come down low. He likes it up on the top side.
He's back down to the bottom now.
Ty Dillon leading this field around Texas Motor Speedway. Max Gresham running 2nd. Jeb Burton 3rd. Kyle Busch up to 4th. Justin Lofton back to 5th. Brendan Gaughan at 6th.
Kyle moved up quickly, but Brad couldn't go anywhere. He's back in the 12th spot, so no progress from Keselowski yet. But Kyle Busch is on the move.
Ty Dillon, after starting in the 3rd spot, so he was on the inside of row number 2. A great start, got him the lead as he went down the backstretch, and he hasn't relinquished.
And we've seen that happen so many times now with that truck running in the 3rd spot on all types of different racetracks. Really has a huge run by the time they get to turn 1.
The 2 trucks on the front row sort of stall each other out, it seems, and when you've got that draft up from behind, you're able to pull out and do the slingshot like we talked about. Usually you see that on the last lap, but heck, here in the Truck Series, you see it on the 1st lap.
Now Miguel Paludo in that 32, making his way back up after starting 4th. Dropped all the way back to the 10th spot. Now trying to get back up there, running in the 9th position.
Looking like Brad Keselowski's moved up the racetrack too. You see him right there ducking and out to the outside of Johnny Sauter in the 98. See where Timothy Peters goes. Brad's going to stay up high.
Goes way up high. 3 wide. Brad Keselowski on the high side.
That is great for racing here. Oh, wow, look at Hornaday.
Ron Hornaday way up the track.
If he hadn't had a hole there, there was going to be a crash. He was out of control, slid up the hill, and fortunately, there was a spot for him.
Ryan Blaney's been making some moves on the bottom of the track now, trying to get by that 9 of Hornaday. Hornaday fighting back on the outside.
Has the momentum from the high side there at the exit of 4. Will beat Ryan down to turn number 1.
Just behind him, our points leader, Matt Crafton, side by side, 4th position.
Check out Bubba Wallace diving down to the inside of Timothy Peters. Looks like Bubba's got another strong truck right on the tailgate of Matt Crafton. Watch Hornaday here. He's committed to this exit, Phil. He's making progress down on the bottom, gets a little bit loose, and watch, he goes up into Timothy Peters.
See Timothy move way up the racetrack to give him room. He recognized that Hornaday was coming.
And look, he still almost crashed.
Hornaday now back by the 29 of Ryan Blaney, but the momentum on Ryan Blaney's side as he tucks back up to the tailgate of that 9. Now looking to the inside for that position.
We see these trucks get so loose on the inside, like we saw Ron Hornaday in that 9 truck do just a couple laps ago. Looks like Ryan's truck's pretty underneath him right there.
Look at Ron. He's out of control early in this race. This is a truck that he came so close to winning Vegas with the last time we were on the 1.5 miles, and obviously it's a fast truck, but might need an adjustment or two. What do you think?
When you mention fast trucks, Kyle Busch already up to the 3rd spot and battling for 2nd with Max Gresham.
That's great to see Max Gresham have that type of speed and to be racing so hard early in the race with Kyle Busch.
Both of the Sharp Gallagher trucks were very fast here, Justin Lofton being the other one, but right now Kyle Busch is going to take over that 2nd spot.
See if he can go find Ty Dillon. He's right up ahead there, Kyle Busch.
Max Gresham drops back to the 3rd spot, Ray.
And Max has been on the radio saying that his Leviton truck is a little bit loose on entry, so they want to make air pressure adjustments on the 1st round of pit stops. His crew chief, Chris Showalter, said, "We'll fix you up, bud. Just hang on to it." He said, "Well, I'm about a 4.5 loose, so that's something they'll have to work on." Hermie?
Ray, his teammate Justin Lofton started outside of the front row, but got put in a 3-wide situation by Ty Dillon in turns 1 and 2. He dropped back to 6th. He's already back up to 5th and is turning consistently lap times on par with the 3. So they think this truck is headed back towards the front. No comment from Justin behind the wheel.
Ty Dillon's got a 3-second lead over 2nd place Kyle Busch. And it's back to Max Gresham, Jeb Burton, Justin Lofton, your top 5. Brendan Gaughan dropped out of that top 5 in 6th. James Busher, Brad Keselowski's made it up to 8th. Miguel Paludo and Johnny Sauter are top 10. Ty Dillon looking to get back to victory lane in 2013. Wants to do it Texas style. We stay green. Ty Dillon in front of the field has almost a 4-second lead now over Kyle Busch, so he continues to extend his lead. And you would think that after Kyle Busch was able to get by the traffic that he would slowly reel in that 3, but it has not happened. Hermie.
Rick, in what could be some bad news for the competition, the 3 is out front, but he's not totally happy with the truck. He's snug on entry. The front end won't turn, but his biggest issue is that makes him too free on exit. They want to adjust it when he comes down the pit road, but the only change they've made so far is they've turned the left rear bead blower off, and what that'll do is take some cool air off of that tire and hopefully help it build some more heat and snug that truck up. But not a perfect truck, but good enough to be leading.
Wow, his lap times are amazing. So if they get her tuned up, it's going to be a long night for the competition because he is wearing them out.
One of the things that we heard so much from the teams was that they liked this tire because it fell off a little bit, put more of the control into the drivers. But we're seeing Ty Dillon just click off lap after lap after lap very fast.
Yeah, he's the fastest truck lap after lap, like you said, Rick, and he's pulling out his lead over 2nd place Kyle Busch. But the 2nd fastest truck on the track that last time by was Brad Keselowski. So he's got a fast truck. He could have something to say about Ty Dillon making a cakewalk out of this baby.
And he's moved up into the top 5. He just got by Brendan Gaughan a lap or so ago. That's Brad right there in the 19 truck. Brendan, the 62 South Point truck right behind him. So Brad Keselowski is on the move.
It took him a little longer for that 19 truck to get underneath him and get up into the top 5, but now he's broken into the top 5 in the 5th spot.
Look at Justin Lofton. He's all over the back of Jeb Burton, wanting that 3rd spot, coming through some 2-wide traffic there. That was a little tense, and Brad's going to join that battle for the 3rd spot.
Phil, you used the word compromise at the start of this show. Drivers compromising, wanting to get more speed. Is that a situation where we're seeing Jeb Burton start to fall back? Guys that were up front, maybe a Timothy Peters, compromised a little too much to find speed in qualifying, and right now losing the handle of these trucks?
I think that's quite possible, and the opposite is true for Brad Keselowski. He knew he wasn't going to qualify that well. Even though he was the fastest truck in final practice last night, he knew that he wasn't going to qualify that well, but he really felt like he was going to have a great race truck. Same truck they had at Chicago was awfully fast there, so you see him trying to get by that 6th truck of Justin Lofton. Not able to do it that lap, but he's on his way.
Look how he's able just to tuck it right down on the white line, exiting the corner, gives him a good run on Lofton. He's going to be beside him too. Again, that's a fast truck when you can tuck it down and gain on a guy. You're binding your truck up a little bit more than he is, but yet he's able to make that move.
Still trying to get by Justin Lofton. Looks as though he's about to clear him for the 4th spot, right?
And we're just about halfway through a fuel run here.
Around goes the 19. Got to the inside of the 6, and around goes the 19.
Brad's
straight
going to
out.
keep it out of the wall. What an amazing job to keep it out of the wall. Looked like he got crowded a little bit by the 6 truck of Justin Lofton.
I think he was trying to side draft, Phil. He almost had Lofton cleared when they exited forward. He was just trying to get up against Lofton and side draft him down the front straightaway, take Lofton's momentum away, and it didn't work out. And he's got 4 flat tires now, so he's going to have to just creep around this track. Could go a lap down here.
And I think right now he would sacrifice that lap in order not to tear the fenders off that truck with the tire blowing out.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go lap down. But, you know, we've seen this before. This early in the race, you lose a lap. You get the lucky dog, get back into position to win the race. He's got plenty of time to do it. Watch him here. Does it look like he just tries to lean up against Lofton? Maybe just give him a little bit of a lean there.
It does look like he moved up a little bit more that time to try to side draft, as you mentioned. I thought originally that maybe Justin Lofton crowded him a little bit. It didn't look like that was the case at all.
No, I think that's just a case where Brad said, I'm going to swipe some air off of you there, Justin, to make this pass. His move didn't work. He loses his truck, running 175 miles an hour, by the way, but doesn't hit the wall. He'll still have a chance to win this race.
The spin and bend that we've seen before.
It's possible.
It is definitely that. Look how slow he's going.
How about where that accident happened? Right in almost the center of the quad oval.
Yeah, that's just a product of trying to take some air away, just trying to slow that other truck's momentum down. That's how tough this series is. That's how hard you got to fight.
And we are already 24 laps complete on lap 25, and it looks as though race leader Ty Dillon is going to lead the field onto pit road. Ray Dunlap.
I'll give you an update real quick on the number 62 of Brendan Gaughan. They're going to put a round in the left rear of Wedge. He said he's got 4 tires coming on. Needs a little bit of help from the center off. Hermie?
Kyle Busch is driven from 11th up to 2nd. He slashed through his pit box. They got to push him back. That's going to hurt that pit stop. 4 tires, no adjustment for the 51. The 3 of Ty Dillon, also 4 tires, fuel, no adjustment. And the 4 of Jeff Burton is a little bit tight in traffic. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment. 4 tires and fuel on his truck. They think him being back in traffic has really hurt his handling of his truck. They battle off pit road. Looks like the 3 will be the leader off pit road, Ray.
Brad Keselowski finally gets his draw type Ford in here. They're going to have to drop that roof spoiler down. They're going to put Sunoco fuel in it and 4 tires for Brad. He said the thing just got really loose on him, so now they'll do the right side here. No reason to be in a big hurry. They've got plenty of time. They'll look this thing over, make sure the fenders are all right. And I just started to tell you the report that halfway through that fuel run, Chad Kendrick, his crew chief, had said to him, give me some information about your truck. And Brad said, give me another 5 or 6 laps. We're not quite sure yet. They'll get this thing ready to go back to the track.
Really fortunate to spin out like that and not cause any damage. You can see Hornaday a little bit of damage from one of his slides.
Maybe got into Timothy Peters when he was coming out of turn number 2 earlier in this race. So the first caution comes out for Brad Keselowski, sliding across start-finish line. First caution coming out, Brad Keselowski trying to get by Justin Lofton for the 4th spot. He spins. We saw a little damage to the right front of Ron Hornaday. This is why.
It's like he's trying to squeeze up in behind Miguel Pluto and just didn't quite have the space to do that. Luckily for both those guys, there wasn't a crash there. You hit a guy in the left rear, that could turn out bad.
Yeah, really bad. Brad Keselowski came down pit road too early because he was a lap down by the time pit road opened, but he knew he needed to come down pit road then, so he will have to restart from the tail end of the longest line,
which is pretty much the back. But he still can win this race, Phil.
Absolutely.
And he can get a free pass, get back on the lead lap and drive through the field.
25 on the lead lap, coming back into the quad oval. Green flag back in the air. Ty Dillon on the outside. Kyle Busch on the inside.
Look at Ty Dillon. He just kind of eases over toward Kyle Busch. We talk about the side drafting, how you can really hamper another truck's progress by leaning on him a little bit. Ty Dillon did that to perfection there, and he took Kyle Busch's momentum away.
Kyle blocking already, going down the backstretch. He had Brendan Gaughan looking to the inside. He moved down the track. Now the 2 stay side by side for the lead as they come out of 4.
Right along with Jeb Burton. There's still dead heat for the lead.
Kyle will lead that lap.
The advantage by 25 1,000ths of a second.
Or a fender.
Or a fender. Ty Dillon now Looks like he has the momentum on the high side, but here comes Kyle Busch once again on the bottom of the track.
Ty doesn't want to give that lead up. He does not want to get back there in dirty air. That clean air was sure working on that Chevrolet truck.
And I love Justin Lofton. Look at the speed that he's showing, hanging right with these two leaders. Doing a great job.
Kyle Busch up the track. Still a dead heat as they cross the stripe. Last time it was 25 1,000. This time it's 15 1,000.
It's getting closer.
You talk about some of the best racing in all of NASCAR. Look at these guys. This is what it's all about. Side by side, battling for the lead. Ty Dillon's going to take the lead off turn 2.
That's Ryan Blaney in that 29. Also working his way, trying to break into the top 5. Actually trying to break into the top 4 now as he trying to get by that 62 of Brendan Gaughan.
Brendan Gaughan pulled up right on the tailgate of the 6 of Justin Lofton to help him propel him by Ryan Blaney.
Ty Dillon out in front of Kyle Busch, Justin Lofton, Ryan Blaney, and Brendan Gaughan.
Lofton wants that second spot. He looks to the inside of Busch.
Guys, remember, he's playing hurt. I was talking to him yesterday. He said, I think this is the best truck I've ever had. He said, I wish I had 2 good hands to drive it.
Broken thumb for the driver of the 6, Justin Lofton, in a cast, but he's looking pretty good right now in that 3rd spot.
Sometimes that extra motivation is all you need when you're this close to being able to win one of these babies. The determination he has to show him he can do it with one hand could propel him to the top.
Ryan Blaney, team truck to Brad Keselowski. Ryan Blaney running in the 4th spot. Brad Keselowski, the first truck a lap down, running 26.
And that's very important. He is in line right now for the free pass if the caution flag were to come out. Would not be unprecedented for Brad Keselowski to get a free pass and win the race. He did it at Homestead in the nationwide race back in 2011.
You know, I love Ryan Blaney. He just does what we heard Brad say that he was going to have to do. Go where there aren't. Watch Brian. He starts to peek around the outside. He likes it up there.
A very strong truck for Brad Keselowski. We saw him make his way from the 13th starting position up into the top 5 before he ended up spinning, battling for the 4th position. Now he's working his way back up through the field. But as the lap down truck, these aren't for position.
Yeah, this is the 12th place truck right here, the 77 of Herman Quiroga. Brad's been running some fast lap times. Herman Quiroga, the last lap, ran his fastest lap of the race, and Brad now moves to the outside to go by him.
Brad Keselowski taking that high line. Takes that position, but not improving his position on the scoring monitor.
He's just looking for a caution, Rick. He needs to get a caution so that he can get that free pass and get back in a position to win the race. Obviously, with all the speed he has, he knows he can do that.
Matt Crafton, when you talk championship, if he were to finish in the 12th position, the final 3 races, the championship would be his, no matter what.
He would be the
drivers did.
He would be the driver's champion no matter what, Rick. But he's also racing for an owner's title. And the guy, Hermie, that's on his tail for that owner's championship's that 51 truck of Kyle Busch.
You're right, Michael. You got to give a call to the pit crew on the 51. As we saw here on the monitor, Kyle slid through that pit box, had to be pushed back, and they still took 4 tires and made some air pressure adjustments and got Kyle back on the racetrack twice. He's not completely happy with this truck, especially in turns 1 and 2. He is too tight over the bumps, and he's not much happier with it on this run. So look for the 51 to have some challenges from the 29 and the 6 until they can get back in and make some more adjustments.
He's fixing to have some other problems, Hermie. Ryan Blaney's to the bottom and is driven up beside Kyle Busch for that 2nd spot.
Ryan Blaney right now is the only driver in the top 7 that does not have a win on a mile-and-a-half racetrack in the series.
And while these two run side by side, that allows the 6 of Justin Lofton to pull right up on the tailgate of them.
Oh, and Lofton gets sideways. It's going to open the door for Buescher on the bottom. Lofton gave Blaney the push he needed to get by Busch, but then he almost lost his truck.
So Lofton drops back a spot as they come up on a slower lap truck. James Buescher has to avoid moving up high.
62 of Brendan Gaughan, the 98 of Johnny Sauter line up behind the 31 of Buescher.
Ty Dillon in front by 2.5 seconds over Ryan Blaney, who's taken over 2nd from Kyle Busch, with Busch going back to that 3rd spot. 6 points, now 4 points separate the top 2 in the Owners' Championship between the 88 truck and the 51 truck.
And we know that's something very important for both of those drivers. Kyle Busch told us that he will evaluate after this race to decide whether he's going to run the final 2 races. Wasn't scheduled to run those races.
Riding along with our points leader, Matt Crafton. Crafton just outside that top 10. In the 14th spot, he's dropped back a few. Brendan Gaughan back up into the top 10, running in the 6th spot, right?
Brendan Gaughan, South Point Chevy, guys, had a great pit stop, but he has lost a few spots, and now he's going to get challenged by Johnny Sauter. He said his truck is just way too tight, especially in the center. And he said to his crew chief, Shane Wilson, it feels like the nose is not working, that it's up in the air and we're getting too much air underneath it. Shane said it looks good from his viewpoint. Brendan says, I promise you, this thing just gets tighter and tighter the longer we run.
And Brendan running a little bit lower line than we normally see him run. A little closer to the white line at the bottom of this racetrack. Ty Dillon, 3 seconds separating he and Ryan Blaney. So Blaney starting to close the gap. Let's go out to LA for a Fox Sports 1 News update with Will Silva.
Trouble for Kyle Busch. He is on pit road. Overheating problem for the 51. Has some debris on the grill. He tried to get it debris off on the racetrack to no avail. 280 degrees. The 51 came in, cleaned the grill, took some tape off, back on the racetrack, but he was not optimistic that his 51 will keep running, guys.
Yeah, Herman, he tried to get that debris off or whatever it was on the grill by coming up on the 57 of Norm Benning. And look how much he has to slow down as he gets up to Norm.
Yeah, that's the first time he did. He actually did it a second time and just about spun Norm out.
Here was the second time.
Look at him just drive right up to the back. The air off Norm's truck will get the debris off of Kyle's nose, but Kyle almost got Norm loose there and about turned him around.
And chase that truck up the track.
And while we were at commercial break, we overheard Kyle Busch saying, he said, I think it's blowing up. So that thing gets so hot it's going to lose power. We'll see after a couple laps. He'll know whether that thing has lost any power or not.
Handling will definitely change now that they have taken some tape off of the front of that truck as well. Nothing's changed up front. Ty Dillon now has a 4.1 second lead over second place Ryan Blaney. Justin Lofton still holding on to third. Buescher is fourth. Johnny Sauter's made his way up into the top 5. Sauter swept this racetrack a year ago.
Both of our Cup favorites we talked about very much in the beginning of the show have had trouble. Brad Keselowski spinning out. Kyle Busch making an unscheduled pit stop for an overheating condition.
Yeah, and both those trucks are now 1 lap down, running in the 25th and 26th spot, and neither one of them are the lucky dogs, so they won't get a free pass if the caution were to fall right now. That honor would go to David Starr, who's ahead of them a lap down.
Ty Dillon continues to set a blistering pace here at Texas Motor Speedway. Ryan Blaney continues to fall back.
Unbelievable.
In the second spot.
Unbelievable pace, Rick. We talk about the draft. We talk about how that's a great equalizer, even at a place like Texas. Well, Ty Dillon said, you're not going to be able to draft me because I'm driving away.
He worked really hard on that restart to wrestle that lead away and keep that lead, to keep that clean air, and man, is it working for him.
Yeah, straightaway lead over the second place truck of Ryan Blaney. Lap after lap, Dillon's a 10th, 2 tenths, even faster than Blaney and the field.
Drivers always trying to find grip around a racetrack. Right now, Ryan Blaney in the field trying to find some speed to catch up to that 3 of Ty Dillon, dominating in Texas. Ty Dillon, race leader, has a 4-second lead over Ryan Blaney. Justin Lofton running third. Buescher is fourth. Johnny Sauter, your top 5. Let's drop back through the field. We'll start off with Herman.
Rick, solid night for Ty Dillon. Obviously qualified third, took the lead going into turn 1 on the very first lap. He's been solid on the racetrack, solid on pit road. They came down last time on pit road, 4 tires, no adjustments, smooth sailing for the 3, Ray.
I mean, the truck that 29 Ryan Blaney is driving tonight is called Clyde, and they used that particular chassis to win at Pocono earlier this year. But he just came on as crew chief Doug Randolph and said, we're getting a bit of a vibration now. He said it's a little bit like what I experienced in practice. He said it may just be this set of tires. Hermie?
Justin Lofton in the 6, as we documented, is racing with a broken wrist. He qualified second on that initial start, got shoved back to the 6th position. He's now back up to 3rd. His truck is decent. Spin on the racetrack. Caution's going to be out, Rick.
Back it down, back it down, back it down. Hope nobody hits this. Nobody hits this. Nobody hits this.
Great job.
Nobody hit us.
Brian Silas in the 99 around, and as you mentioned, no one getting into it.
Wow, did you see some of the evasive moves those guys had to make in field? That's where you transition out of the turn onto the flat. If you've got to change directions right there, it's really hard to hang onto your truck.
Yeah, everybody did a great job of getting by that 99, and Brad Keselowski was not the guy in line to get the free pass. Scott Riggs was. Ty Dillon was setting such a torrid pace. He was putting so many trucks a lap down. He got a couple trucks ahead of Brad a lap down, and Brad was not in line to get that.
Yep, Brad couldn't catch up.
Armand Quiroga running in the 7th spot.
Trying to clean off something on his grill. May have caused this. Took the air off that 99.
And then he hit him.
Probably got loose, and Brian had to get out of the throttle. When he did, then there might have been a little bit of contact there from the 77.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact, but like you said, got him loose first. But if you get somebody get you loose and then they hit you, you count that as getting hit.
I think so too.
I mean, if you had to got hit, he would have saved it.
Ryan Blaney holding on to that 2nd spot, Ray, and the field making their way onto pit road.
And Blaney's one of the first to get to his pit box. He'll bring that Cooper Standard Ford in. He said it needs to turn in the middle just a little bit, so they're going to raise the track bar. That'll help loosen him up just a tiny bit. Hermie?
Ray, the 3 of Ty Dillon needs to be a little bit freer at the end of a run. They're going to take 4 tires and air pressure adjustment to try to get this truck to rotate a little better through the center of the corner. Now the 6 of Justin Lofton, pretty much same story. Center off the corners. He needs to be a little bit freer, rotate a little bit better. 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment for the 6 as well. We'll see who can win the battle off pit road. The 3 has been solid all night, but the 6 gets out ahead.
Wow.
Justin Lofton with a stellar stop wins the race off of pit road. Matt Crafton, points leader, coming off of pit road just a bit later.
Justin Lofton, a winner at Charlotte last year on the 1.5 mile.
He can get it done on the big tracks.
Always strong on the 1.5 mile. How about the trucks that avoided the 99? Coming out of turn number 2, it got crazy. And welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch, after going a lap down, coming on to pit road to try to figure out an overheating problem, currently in the 24th spot. Hermie.
Rick, they had a change of strategy right as the caution came out. They had talked briefly about taking the lucky dog, staying on the racetrack, passing the pace truck, getting back to the back of the field, but on old tires. They decided to come down pit road. The truck was so tight. They came down pit road, 4 tires fuel, made a track bar adjustment. They thought that was a better plan to try to stay in this race for the long term.
I tell you guys, the pace that Ty Dillon is setting up front, they better get a quick caution or they're never going to get the free pass because he's lapping people.
Green flag back in the air. Justin Lofton, Ty Dillon making up row number 1.
James Buescher now from the 3rd spot.
Look at all that drafting they had. Buescher had a big run with a push from Johnny Sauter. Couldn't go anywhere with it.
He's going to get to the inside of Ty now.
Down the back stretch they go. Buescher to the inside of Ty Dillon for the lead.
Buescher was Mr. 1.5 miles a year ago, getting 4 wins on this size of a track.
And how sweet would it be if he could win here at his home track in his home state of Texas.
Close racing there with the 7 of John West Townley and the 4 Jeb Burton. Dead even again at the line.
You talked about, Phil, how aggressive Ty Dillon has been on these restarts trying to keep the lead. He knows his truck is good out front. He gets back in that traffic. He doesn't know what he'll have. That's why he's racing so hard.
Once again, it's side by side. Ty Dillon on the high side, James Buescher on the inside, both racing for this lead. Last time by, Buescher got the nod by 8/1000ths of a second.
You see how Ty Dillon is crowding down as they enter the corner on Buescher, trying to slow his momentum, but that can make that inside truck really loose. He gets loose down on the inside of Ty. He'll crash them both.
7/1000ths of a second separated them at the line that time by. Still Buescher in front. Now Ty Dillon has the momentum on the high side. Is he going to clear him? He does.
Remember, outside this racetrack is where James Buescher got his start running Bandoleros.
It's where he met his wife, too.
When they were racing those Bandoleros. And I believe Chris used to beat James on a regular basis.
And James will admit that.
Look at Johnny Sauter. He makes the move down on the inside of Justin Lofton. He's going for that 3rd spot. Sauter was pretty good here a year ago.
Yeah, not bad.
Johnny Sauter moves up into the top 3.
Of course, he swept the 2 events here at Texas. He looks like he's got a truck he can go up here and win tonight with.
Ryan Blaney's still strong in the 29.
It'll be interesting, guys, to see if the adjustments that Buscher and Sauter and Blaney and Lofton made on their pit stops can get them up to pace with Ty Dillon. Ty's just been able to drive away on the restarts. Can they keep up after working on their trucks?
You know, when we talk about the race analysis, we said 3 pit stops. NASCAR actually gave these teams an extra set of tires. We could see 4 pit stops for this race.
Ray Dunlap, that 29 of Ryan Blaney, continues to look strong.
He's got a really good truck, and he just needs a little patience right now. He came into the pits running second, went out 6th, and the reason was they had a lug nut hang up on the left rear tire. Cost him a little bit of time, but Doug Randolph said, be patient. We'll get it back for you. Just run up there and go at your rate. He's moving back towards the front.
How does a 19-year-old know what patience means? I mean, he's a great racer and he's won races, but if you tell him to slow down some, I don't know if he understands that.
I think Ryan Blaney does know what patience is.
And that's why he's been so successful, right?
Absolutely.
Patience.
Whoa.
2 laps ago. This is not patience. Ron Hornaday into the back of that 88 of Matt Crafton.
Ron's looked a bit out of control tonight.
Matt's struggling right now, too. Of course, he's going to struggle more with somebody pushing you, too.
Especially in the turns. That's
So
John West Townley just ahead of Crafton there. That's 13th.
It's actually 14th and 15th. John West Townley has 14th. Crafton back to 15th now.
Like you said, Phil, struggling a bit here.
Really felt like he had, you could see how much out of the throttle he is. Really felt like he had a great race truck here, but he hasn't really shown it.
Closing in on the halfway point of this race. 70 laps complete, 77 to go. Justin Lofton, after restarting up on the front row, has dropped back to the 4th position. Ty Dillon, James Buscher 1 and 2. Johnny Sauter up to 3. Justin Lofton 4. Ryan Blaney is 5. And just outside of the top 5, Darrell Wallace Jr. Hermie.
Don't look now, Rick, but here comes Bubba, the 54. They came down last time on pit road and actually put a spring rubber in the right rear because they needed help center through the exit. So these guys qualified 17th. Very disappointed with their qualifying effort, but he is on the move up to 6th and steady making progress towards the front. Good run for the 54.
You know, guys, right now we have Ty Dillon leading, James Buscher 2nd, Johnny Sauter, and then Justin Lofton 3rd and 4th. Those top 4 won 8 of the 10 mile-and-a-half races last year. You don't think if you're good on a mile-and-a-half, you're going to be good on all the mile-and-a-halfs?
Uh-oh, problems with the 51 truck.
51
big
slow
time
once
problems.
again. Kyle Busch a lap down, running 24th. He was scored in the 2nd spot of the trucks that were a lap down behind Brad Keselowski, but now slow on the racetrack.
Looks like that overheating problem might have hurt that engine and struggling now to keep the power up.
He ran some good lap times after he came back on the racetrack, but I think it probably has given up now, and he comes back to pit road.
The Owners Championship coming in 15 points separated the 51 and the 88. That gap is going to grow tonight as we see the 51 on pit road.
Look at Ron Hornaday making a move on the track. He's going to go around Bubba Wallace to the inside.
Brendan Gaughan in that 62.
I'm sorry, I said Brendan Gaughan is going to be good tonight, and he's proving it right now. He's making some good moves trying to race up into the top 5, but he can't complete that move down on the bottom.
Just a quick, looks like gas and go for the 51 of Kyle Busch on pit road.
Yeah, it was just on pit road during that last caution flag, so it certainly wasn't an issue where he was going to be out of fuel.
Look at Brendan. He was trying to pass Bubba for 6, and now he's back to 8. That's how intense the competition is in the Truck Series.
The 19 of Brad Keselowski a lap down, so this isn't 4th position. Darrell Wallace Jr. in the 54 running very strong in that 6th spot. And that's how strong that 19 is of Brad Keselowski. He's trying to fight his way back up to the front, just getting by that 54, Henry.
Yeah, Rick, big trouble for the 51. He was overheating, came down pit road, took tape off. Then the engine cooled down, but Kyle kept saying it's still not up to maximum RPM, but the temperatures came down. Came back down pit road under the caution, put tape back on, and now the temperatures are back up, and this truck is way off the pace. They're just trying to hold on right now. They've been talking about that Owners Championship that we've talked about on the program. We'll see how long the 51 can stay on the racetrack.
He's 2 laps down now in the 26th spot. 3 trucks in front of him are 1 lap down, and those being led by the 19 of Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, right now Brad would love to see a caution flag before Ty Dillon is able to put any of these other trucks a lap down. Right now the next one to go a lap down would be Scott Riggs, and he's about 10 seconds ahead of Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon continues to set that blistering pace we've seen all night long. He has a 1.5 second lead over James Buescher in second.
Yeah, you talk about 10 seconds from lapping the next truck, Phil, but he's lapping around this track a second a lap faster than Scott Riggs, so needs to happen in a hurry.
Ty Dillon continues to pace this field. 70 laps he's been out in front at Texas. Jeb Burton, after winning the pole, has dropped all the way back to the 10th spot, Hermie Sadler.
And it's been a struggle since the drop of the green flag. The Ford did not lead the first lap, fell back in traffic, and he has been fighting a tight race truck since they dropped the green flag, and being back in traffic has made it that much worse. They've made a couple adjustments, chassis adjustments and air pressure adjustments, but the truck has not responded. They're waiting for their next opportunity to get back to pit road and make some more adjustments and hopefully nail a good pit stop and get closer to the front, but not what the Ford truck was expecting tonight.
And remember the statistic that Ray threw at us before the start of this race. 27 races. The pole winner has not gone on to win the race. Jeff back there mired in the 10th position. Doesn't look like he's fighting for that win tonight with Ty Dillon and James Buescher out in front of him.
Great battle right here for the second spot with James Buescher in the 31 and Johnny Sauter in the 98. Ray, what's the 31 saying down there?
Well, Phil, he's free in and he's a little bit tight off. He said he can control the center pretty well, but they want to make an air pressure adjustment and maybe even a track bar adjustment for that Rheem Chevrolet. James Buescher saying he's got good feel in the wheel, but it is a little bit free and he loses some time in the corner. Now Johnny Sauter's Carolina Nut Toyota is catching him. He's been closing that gap rather quickly, and you need to keep in mind the truck that Johnny swept both races with a year ago here at Texas was chassis 39. That truck got destroyed. This is 45, and it's actually a very sister to that particular truck that he loves so much, and they've run this truck quite a bit throughout the course of the season.
Remember we talked about Scott Riggs being the next truck to go a lap down and how he was 10 seconds ahead of Ty Dillon. Right now he is in his clutches. Ty Dillon will pass Scott Riggs right there. That's the truck in front of him, the 92 truck, the CarQuest truck. And Ty Dillon's about to put him a lap down.
And that's significant for Brad Keselowski because now that puts Scott Riggs in a position to be the free pass for the caution to fly. So unless Brad can catch Scott before another truck goes a lap down, he's not going to get that free pass.
These Cup superstars have not been, I guess, flexing their muscle as much as we thought they were going to against the truck regulars tonight. It's been all Ty Dillon. He's looked as good as anyone could possibly look on this track.
Totally, but I love what Johnny Sauter's doing. We talked about his successes here a year ago. Now he's battling for that second spot. He just gets that truck better and better. He could have something to say about Ty Dillon's domination, but you're right, Phil, Rick, the spin early by Brad, the problems with Kyle's engine. But last week at Martinsville, it was just so fun to see these young, aggressive truck racers take those Cup boys down.
And now the battle continues for that second spot. Johnny Sauter making his way to the bottom of the track. Still running in the middle, the 31 of Buescher, and Sauter will take second away from Buescher. And look at the 29 coming into the picture now. Ryan Blaney with a ton of momentum looks to the inside of that 31 of Buescher.
Yeah, don't look now with that 29 of Ryan Blaney is there. James Buescher's progress was stalled by Johnny Sauter pulling up in front of him, and that allowed that 29 of Ryan Blaney to get a good run.
Now Blaney tucks back in behind the 31. That's second, third, and fourth on your screen.
Ryan Blaney moving way up the racetrack. Michael, we talked about it. You can move all over this racetrack. Right now, Ryan Blaney is running the highest of anybody on it.
And look, it gives him that momentum off the corner. He keeps that truck wound up, is able to pull right up on the tailgate of Buescher, and then dives to the bottom because Buescher went high. He said, I got to go where we're not, buddy, and I'm going low.
Buescher runs the high line. Ryan Blaney trying to take third away. Now they're side by side once again for that position.
You see right in front of them is the 92 of Scott Riggs, and right behind them is the 19 of Keselowski. Right now Brad needs to get by that 92 to get in a position to get the free pass.
A good long green flag run here for Ty Dillon. He seems to get stronger as the laps continue to wind down. Johnny Sauter 3.7 seconds behind. Then it's James Busher, Ryan Blaney, Justin Lofton, your top 5.
And that's got to be a great feeling, Phil, to have a truck like Ty Dillon has. They've had a couple of pit stops. He's fought off some people's adjustments, and he's able to just drive away repeatedly.
And how satisfying this has to be for that 3 team after the issues that they had at Martinsville a week ago, where tempers were flaring. Ty Dillon gets wrecked. He has an issue with Kevin Harvick during the race. Now comes to Texas and absolutely is dominating here as he's led 86 of the 93 laps we've had.
Right now we're in our window of maybe one more stop if the caution flag were to come out. We have 54 laps to go.
You can see the 19 truck of Brad Keselowski. He drove around Scott Riggs, so that puts him into the free pass position. And man, he's fast too. He's driven around his teammate Ryan Blaney. He's sideways, but he's fast, and right now he's the lucky dog. But
well,
Spencer Gallagher goes a lap down, so Brad Keselowski has to set his sights on the 21 truck of Spencer Gallagher to grab that free pass position. That's got to be frustrating. You know, you got a truck fast enough to drive up into the top 5, but you just need a break to get back in contention.
Well, all Brad Keselowski has to do really is just pass Ty Dillon. That's all he has to do.
Well, he
gets his lap back.
He's on up there ways.
Yeah, that's a little easier said than done.
And I guess you've noticed, Rick, but nobody's done that all night.
Not one person has been able to do it. A dominant truck for Ty Dillon. His teammate Brendan Gaughan in the 62, running in the 6th spot, now catching up to the 2 trucks running side by side.
Remember how good Ty Dillon was here back in June. He was leading the race, lost the lead on the restart to Jeb Burton. Jeb went on to win that race.
And did you remember how Ty Dillon was all over Jeb? Winning your first race like Jeb did with a guy like Ty Dillon breathing down your neck, that was a great accomplishment. You're right, though. That 3 truck was tough here in June.
Johnny Sauter up to the 2nd spot. Ty Dillon still 4 seconds in front. Caution comes out once again. The 51 of Kyle Busch. That engine finally did expire as he was coming across the front stretch.
And it expired in a major way, Rick. You can see the thing blows up, and eventually it's going to catch on fire.
That hot oil getting down on the exhaust pipes there. It got extinguished fairly quickly, but pretty big blow up there.
And look who was writing his tire tracks. That's our leader, Ty Dillon, who's trying to avoid the oil and stay out of Kyle's issue. A little bit of a tense moment for our leader.
Pit road is open. Might be the final stop of the night. Ray Dunlap.
Ryan Blaney will roll in 3rd this time. He said he's got a really bad vibration in the front end, not turning very well in the middle, and it's a little bit loose off. So look for a big adjustment. He's on the bottom of your screen. In the middle, the Carolina Nut Toyota. That is Johnny Sauter. He said, let's not change a thing, guys. Just leave it right like it is. Give me 4 tires and gas. Hermie?
Ray, Ty Dillon told his crew chief Marcus Richmond he's a little bit too tight on the end of a long run. The issue is he doesn't want to be too loose on these restarts that are very, very competitive. Going to be 4 tires fuel and an air pressure adjustment only for the 3. He's standing away. It looks like he will win the race off pit road.
Another great job by that RCR team to get Ty Dillon out first.
What about Johnny Sauter's bunch? They held
contact. So at the bottom of your screen saw Jeb Burton get in the side of somebody as they were exiting pit road.
Might have been the 54 of Darrell Wallace Jr. Those 2 came off of
got
pit
my
road.
right front fender.
You hear Jeb talking about damage to his right front fender.
So Jeb may have to make his way back onto pit road to have that right front fender checked out. Engine expires on the 51 of Kyle Busch. He's out. Welcome back. Cleaning up pit road as the teams have made their way back out on the 1.5 miles. WinStar World Casino 350. 103 laps are complete of the 147 scheduled. Just 44 laps to go.
And this has become a 44-lap sprint race. And that's what you got to think about right now if you're trying to catch this cat, because you give him 6-8 laps, he can break away from you. Got to be aggressive on this restart and try to put him behind.
We're going to have Johnny Sauter going to line up beside of Ty Dillon. Then we're going to have Ryan Blaney behind him in that coveted 3rd spot. So this may dictate who's going to win the race, the restart.
We know that the driver of the 51 isn't going to win this one because he's standing by with Hermie.
Yeah, Rick, Kyle Busch in the garage, couple trips to pit road, engine overheating, trash on the grill. Did it give you any warning? And I know you guys were trying to get to the finish due to the owner's points.
Yeah, it must have got trash on the grill early, and then once it got hot, these motors can't get hot and recover. So I'm surprised it recovered as good as it did there for a while, and then it sort of got hot again. I don't think there was trash on the grill. I think it was just buildup of heat in the motor. And, ultimately there we were just trying to suffer on and see if we couldn't make it to the end, see if it would live. But once they get hot, a bunch of things internally start going wrong, and eventually it goes real bad. So I hate it for all these guys. I mean, we were in the hunt for the Owners' Championship. This pretty much eliminates it. So, it sucks. This Toyota Care Tundra has been awesome this year. These guys have done a whale of a job, and we've been fast a lot. We've won a lot. Had a really fast truck here tonight, but ain't nobody going to touch the 3. And, we'll see Eric Jones behind the wheel of the 51 in Phoenix, and we'll try to go get him and see if he can't get another win or get a win there in Phoenix, and we'll go get him in Homestead.
That's Kyle Busch, fast truck, but he will not make it to the finish tonight.
Amazingly enough, Kyle Busch has only had one other engine failure in the Truck Series, and it happened right here at Texas Motor Speedway. Front row has Ty Dillon on the outside, Johnny Sauter on the inside. When they come to the stripe, it'll be 41 laps to go.
And these guys are tired of watching that 3 truck drive off. Can they do anything about it on this restart? Stick beside him, shuck him back, get him in traffic, see if that thing will run as well in traffic as it does out front.
A great restart by Johnny Sauter.
Here comes Ryan Blaney in the 29 as well. But the 3 of Ty Dillon battling back on the high side.
Here comes Ryan Blaney making it 3 wide.
And he's got a push from James Busher. That inside line's going to town.
Ryan Blaney takes the lead away from Ty Dillon and brings along the 31 of James Busher.
And here comes Ron Hornaday. He's sneaking up into the mix.
A little bit of speedy dry up on the high part of the racetrack to make sure that no fluid was left by the 51.
First time we've seen the 3 truck behind this entire race. Now he fights back to the outside of James Busher going after second.
Wow, that's a power move.
Ryan Blaney still out in front. Ty Dillon riding in his tire tracks just on the outside of the 31 of Busher.
Busher hangs tough on the bottom. Man, that's hard to do, Phil. Keeping that truck straight when you got a guy right on your right side. Truck wants to get loose.
Blaney and Busher working together to move up to the first and second spots. Now the 3 of Ty Dillon trying to fight back.
Ty Dillon does not want to fall any farther behind now. Had a good run off of turn 2.
But Busher continues to hang tough on that inside.
Still a lot of racing to go. 39, they'll come up on 38 when they get to the stripe. Side by side for second, continuing. Ty Dillon with the advantage when they cross the start-finish line.
Busher hangs in, though. He keeps side drafts him to stay up beside Ty. Drives it hard down in the corner.
Johnny Sauter staying right in the middle of the track behind him now. Here comes Ron Hornaday in that 9.
And look at Bubba Wallace all the way to the top of this racetrack. They're running all over the place.
How about these 2 guys running side by side for the second spot, not losing an inch to our leader, Ryan Blaney.
Way up the racetrack, as you mentioned, Michael. At 54 of Bubba Wallace, last week's winner.
Wow, this is a great race.
Johnny Sauter now pulls up to push that 3 truck of Ty Dillon. Will that help him get by the 31?
They're going to take the high line. We'll see if it helps Johnny Sauter. He's been running back between the 2 of them.
You talked about how bad James Busher wants to win in Texas. He's from this great state. This is an amazing event for the Truck Series here in Texas. He wants to put his name on the trophy.
And the 9 of Ron Hornaday able to get by that 98 of Johnny Sauter. Hornaday a 3-time winner at this racetrack.
That's the same truck he raced at Vegas. We talked about that earlier. He had a shot at winning out there, and he's got a shot to win tonight.
Hornaday on the outside of Sauter. Ty Dillon on the outside of that 31 of Busher. Now Busher has the second position, and the 3 of Ty Dillon drops back to 3rd.
Wow, that was an amazing job by James Busher to hang in there, fight hard to get that spot away from Ty Dillon. Now can he go get Ryan Blaney and take the lead here in Texas?
Battle between the 6 of Justin Lofton.
We talked about Ryan Blaney not winning a mile-and-a-half race in a truck. He did win a mile-and-a-half race in Kentucky in the Nationwide Series this year.
Look how much Bubba Wallace likes that top side. We're on board with Jeb Burton. He's looking to the bottom.
Ooh, Gresham all up against the wall there at the exit of 2.
Ty Dillon marches back by that 98. Johnny Sauter trying to hang on, but Ty Dillon with an impressive run out of 4.
Phil, how frustrating is it right now for Ty Dillon to have the truck that he thought he was just dominant, going to be able to dominate this race with? And we talked about how important it would be on that restart for somebody to shuck him back. And they did just that, but he's rebounding hard. Drives around James Busher.
Up to second. Ty Dillon takes the spot away from Busher, now sets his sights on Blaney.
Now, will Ryan Blaney recognize where that 3 truck's running and move up to try to take that groove away from him? We see Ty Dillon making so much ground up on the outside.
There's Brad Keselowski in the 19, still a lap down. He is the highest scored lap down truck in the 22nd position.
And he's got some time now, Rick. If a caution comes out, he's probably got 10, 15, 20 laps where he can stay that lucky dog guy. But look at Busher, he rebounds on the bottom.
So many different lines we're seeing these trucks being able to take advantage of. Ty Dillon running right now, I would say, on the high side, but that's the middle of the track. Bubba Wallace has been running almost up against the wall a few laps back.
You think I love about this is we've seen so many trucks run side by side, and so many times we see the truck on the inside get loose. We haven't seen that. These trucks are really handling well.
Sparks flying from underneath that 3. He bottoms out, but he gets by the 31 of James Busher.
As you say that, it looked like James almost spun out down on the bottom, and it gave Ty the advantage he needed to drive around him. Phil, like you said, I think Ryan Blaney will recognize and will understand where Ty Dillon is making his ground, and he'll move up the track. But as soon as he does, you watch Ty will go to the bottom.
Will he look to the bottom on this lap as they go across the start-finish line into turns 1 and 2? And down to the bottom of the track goes Ty Dillon, looking to take the lead away from Ryan Blaney.
It's going to be harder to make the pass down there, but Ty doesn't quite get up beside him yet. Now he has a fender up there.
Side by side for the lead. Here comes Ty Dillon. Made it look easy getting by the 29 as he got through 3 and 4.
Wow, what a strong move that was.
You got to hand it to Ty Dillon. He lost a couple of spots. He kept his head down and focused, and he's driven back to the lead.
Here comes Johnny Sauter. That's the race for 3rd. James Busher in the middle of 3 wide as Ron Hornaday tried to make it 3 wide for that position. And Hornaday passes James Busher, and he moves up to the 4th spot.
I'm amazed that Ty Dillon was able to make that pass on the inside as easily as he did.
They're all over the racetrack now. From the white stripe at the bottom of the track all the way up to the wall, trying to find that traction.
Inside of 30 laps to go now. If Brad Keselowski is going to have an opportunity to contend, he's going to need a caution flag pretty soon because he will have to restart at the end because of being the free pass.
Look at Justin Lofton. He's looking on the inside of Brendan Gaughan.
The Lofton Cattle Silverado trying to make the pass on that South Point Hotel and Casino Chevy.
Those 2 are racing for the 6th spot just outside the top 5. That's James Busher just ahead.
Want to mention that the 77 of Armand Quiroga came off pit road in the 10th spot, but had a tire get away from his pit crew, so he had to go back to the tail end of the lead lap trucks. He restarted 20th.
Armand Quiroga's worked his way back up to the 16th position after that penalty. Ty Dillon out in front of Ryan Blaney by a second now. Blaney has his hands full with Johnny Sauter.
I like this Sauter truck, Phil. It just seems like lap after lap, he gets faster and faster. If he can get around Blaney here, maybe he does have something for Ty Dillon. In the long run, I think his truck might be just as good as Dillon's.
He doesn't want to take any extra time. Right now, Ty has a second half lead, and it looks like Johnny's got that spot.
Johnny's going to take second away from Blaney. Hornaday looking strong on the high side of this track. Now has the momentum. Gets tucked up right behind that 29 of Blaney.
We talked about how good Ron Hornaday was at Las Vegas just a few races ago. Same exact truck. We talked about that. A little bit of damage on that right front corner. Still fast.
That thing was out of control early in the race, but it looks like that team, not only did they patch up the fender, but the adjustments they've made has gotten Ron very competitive. He's going to try to race Johnny Sauter for that 2nd spot. This truck's coming alive late as well.
Inside of 29 or 26 laps remaining from Texas Motor Speedway. Matt Crafton coming into this race, 51-point lead over 2nd place. James Busher now running in the back. We got the witness Gresham in. Welcome back under the lights at Texas Motor Speedway. Ty Dillon once again out in front of the field. Now just a 2.2-second lead over Johnny Sauter. That's been about the closest anyone's been to Ty Dillon here in Texas. A week ago, the Ram Guts and Glory Ty racing for what could have been a win at the short track. He was second in the point standings, could have taken a step closer to Matt Crafton, but he and Kevin Harvick have issues on the track.
Yeah, big time. They got into it battling for the lead, and then it just continued on during the caution flag, even on the pit road here.
That's short track racing right there.
A lot of bumping and banging taking place there, and tonight could end up in glory and in victory lane for Ty Dillon.
He's led more laps here. That's 112 laps he's led in this race, the most laps he's ever led in a Truck Series event in his career.
But Sauter and Blaney and those guys, they made him earn that lead, didn't they, Phil? That was a great restart. They did everything they had to do. They got around Ty Dillon, put him back in traffic, but he was able to fight back and grab the lead.
Very strong truck for Ty Dillon tonight.
Justin Lofton has just moved up in the top 5. He got by the 29 of Ryan Blaney. Good run for Justin Lofton, playing hurt here with a broken thumb.
Brad Keselowski in the 19 on the high side, trying to get by James Buescher, but Keselowski still scored a lap down in the 22nd spot.
Going to pull up and try to help his teammate Ryan Blaney.
He's probably got about 8 more green flag laps before Ty Dillon catches the 21st place running truck of Spencer Gallagher, puts him a lap down. So time's a ticking on Brad for a couple reasons. Even if he can get the free pass, and then like you said, Phil, he'll have to start deep in the field if he indeed does. Look at Buescher, is going to try to take that spot away from Ryan Blaney. They're racing for the 6th spot.
Bubba Wallace going to join that battle as well.
A big run by the 54 of Darrell Wallace Jr. Bubba making the high line work for that truck tonight.
See Ryan Blaney go all the way up to the top as well. James Buescher right down on the bottom.
That could be the draft that Bubba and Ryan need to get around Buescher.
Inside of 16 laps to go from Texas Motor Speedway. Darrell Wallace Jr. all the way up against the wall trying to get by that 29.
Wow, that's an impressive move. Not only did he get around the 29, but he's going to gain on James Buescher. What a powerful move by Bubba.
Darrell Wallace Jr. makes his way up into the 6th spot. 7th spot, just behind that 6 of Buescher. Here comes Miguel Paludo in the 32.
Miguel's been solid. We thought in the middle of the race maybe an engine problem or something went wrong with Miguel, but he's been able to fight through it and recover. Now he's racing inside the top 10, trying to take that spot away from Ryan Blaney. You can see the damage to the front of his truck. Maybe that had something to do with why he slowed in the middle of the race, but he's recovered nicely. Felt like he would have a really fast truck here at Texas. He runs well on these big tracks, and he indeed has had.
Tucks in right behind the 29 of Blaney. See John West Townley right behind that battle. That is for position as well. John West right now holds down the 10th spot.
John West, 6 finishes in a row inside the top 15. He's really starting to hit his stride and be competitive, and you can see he's running in the top 10 again.
Week in and week out, John West Townley continues to impress. Having a fast truck and getting the finishes that truck will give him.
Well, he started the season by winning the ARCA race at Daytona. You start off by winning anything at Daytona. That gives you some great momentum, and he's taking advantage of that momentum. Now racing inside the top 10 most every week.
Pretty consistent gap between Ty Dillon and Johnny Sauter. It stays right around 2.5 seconds. But Ty Dillon looking so strong after already leading 118 laps, Hermie.
Yeah, these guys are obviously very solid. The communication on the radio has changed a little bit. As soon as Ty retook the lead, his crew chief Marcus Richmond said, just maintain and manage your tires. Then the 98 of Johnny Sauter got into 2nd place, and they thought maybe running him down a little bit, especially in turns 3 and 4. Then they asked Ty to move up the racetrack in 3 and 4 just a little bit. He did that, and then his speeds leveled off once again. So all quiet on the radio right now. A decent enough lead that he can just hold on, run his line, and potentially drive to a dominating victory here at Texas.
Well, Phil, you said earlier, though, look, slow truck there. Brian Silas.
Brian Silas in the 99, slow on the track, and he was right in the middle of the track. A lot of trucks having to go to the inside and outside.
Ty Dillon was marching to the win here in June, and there was a late restart that Jeb Burton took advantage of and grabbed the win away from him. So it isn't over till it's over. Ty Dillon's just hoping there isn't a caution. He can ride this one out, but if there is, we saw how action picks up on those restarts.
Brian Silas made it down to the apron. He'll try to glide all the way down onto pit road. We stay green. Inside of 10 laps to go, coming out of turn number 4. Ty Dillon about to see 9 to go.
It's our 5th, 6th place battle right there. James Busher, the 31, has it. Good run off the corner for Bubba Wallace in the 54.
That's why these drivers like this track so much. You saw how diversely different those two lines were. Both of them are working pretty darn good.
Busher back to the bottom of the track. Bubba Wallace up to the high side, trying to keep that momentum up.
You can see the bumps run all the way up to the top of the racetrack. It's not any smoother up there than it is on the bottom, and he's got that spot.
What a pass by Darrell Wallace Jr., taking 6th away from James Busher. Now Busher fighting back on the bottom of the track.
60 feet in between those two trucks in the corner.
Wallace once again with the advantage as they cross the stripe. Inside of 8 laps remain. Ty Dillon with a 4-second lead over Johnny Sauter. He doesn't want to see a caution come out. Johnny Sauter, 4 seconds back. He's going to need a caution if he wants to catch Ty Dillon. Here comes James Busher once again, fighting back on the inside. And the 4 of Jeb Burton, our pole winner. Looks as though his engine has blown up.
Yeah, he's shaking the truck possibly like he's out of gas, because you saw him wiggling it around.
I'm not going to make it, man. You may just stop. Call the caution.
That's only 39 laps. I don't understand why that truck would be out of gas unless they intentionally didn't fill it up. But I don't know why they wouldn't have filled it up on that caution flag.
He goes down to the apron and continues to roll. He might not make it back to pit road.
Well, that's the last thing that Ty Dillon wants to see. I'll guarantee you that.
And so the 4 continues to creep around the track on the apron. The 3 continues his domination. 4 seconds separating 1 and 2. Ty Dillon out in front of Johnny Sauter.
I think Jeb's going to make it, Rick.
Going awful slow, Rick.
Coming through 4, he's going to have to get to his stall or get behind the wall. If he stops on pit road or the entrance to pit road.
Something happened. It's like I'm running out of gas. I'm out of gas.
That was Jeb Burton. He's going to have to get on the inside of pit road. It looks
he's there.
He's on it.
That's a big relief for that 3 team. I know the spotter was up top watching that closely.
Now 4 to go for Ty Dillon. 6 miles remain between him and the trophy at Texas Motor Speedway.
What about Ron Hornaday? He's beginning to close in on Johnny Sauter here late in the going, trying to grab that second. Oh, sideways doing it too. That tells you what kind of commitment Ron makes. He's wide open as hard as he can go. Brendan Gaughan back in the 4th spot. Solid run in the top 5 for Brendan.
5 drivers have been out in front of the field tonight. Ty Dillon has led 126 laps. Ryan Blaney led 10. Lofton has led 3. Busher's led 2. And Kyle Busch has led 2 laps. But it's been a dominating performance. Ty Dillon not only jumped out to the start of this race out front and led many laps, but he's also had to battle back from getting beat on a restart, being back as far as 4th, and has been able to work his way up to the front.
I think that's been my favorite part of the race, watching him take that fast truck. Those guys knew they needed to jump on him. They did, and got the lead away from him. But Ty fought back hard and now is driven away to a 2.5-second lead with just 2 to go.
If he can just get back to the start-finish line here, take that white flag, then he knows the caution flag's not going to hurt him.
Down the backstretch he goes. A half a lap before that white flag. Ty Dillon running the high line. As you mentioned, a 2.5-second lead over 2nd place Johnny Sauter. Out of turn 4. White flag in the air. One more time around for Ty Dillon.
Guys, smooth 2nd place line now.
Guys, if he can get to the start-finish line and get this win, that will be the 100th RCR win for the number 3 across the 3 divisions of NASCAR. 100.
Wow.
Austin Dillon has racked up some wins in that 3. In this RCR truck.
You can see the checkered flag, Rick.
Looking for win number 3.
Yeah, baby, Texas! Yeah! I love you guys. Thank you so much for an awesome year. The
No better place to win for a cowboy like Ty Dillon than at Texas Motor Speedway. Charlie one-horse hat waiting for him in victory lane.
How about our point leader, Matt Crafton, battles back for another top 10 finish.
Well, I didn't see that one coming either, Phil. He struggled all night long, but when it counted at the end, he got that truck dialed in and finishes in the top 10 again.
Another impressive run for Matt Crafton as he takes one step closer to the championship in this 2013 season. The fireworks off the backstretch. And our winning crew chief is standing by with Hermie Sadler.
Well, Marcus Richmond is the crew chief. All wins are special, but how about winning after everything that happened last week at Martinsville to come back and dominate this race?
The really bad thing about this is, Hermie, we should have like 5 or 6 wins this year. We should dominate the championship. We've just had a few things go wrong at the end of the race. We've had flawless trucks all year, buddy, and I mean, it's a hats off to Ty Dillon, Bass Pro Shop, Chevrolet, all their help, Richard Childress, Mike Dillon, the Fab Shop, our truck shop, man. It's unreal how good these trucks are week in and week out. And I just want to thank everybody. Say hello to my wife. This is awesome.
Going to victory lane, the 3 truck.
The celebration has already started for the 3 team. Ty Dillon has climbed out of that truck. We'll see them in victory lane. That's where Ty Dillon wants to end up. And an impressive finish for that team. So Ty Dillon grabs the WinStar World Casino 350 from Fort Worth, Texas. His first win in his 5th start here at Texas Motor Speedway. Johnny Sauter coming home in the 2nd spot. Let's hear from Ray.
Well, Rick, here are the numbers for Matt Crafton. He needed to finish 12th or better in each of the final 3 races. He gets a 10th place tonight. That's a pretty good run. Tell us about your night.
Oh, that was horrendously bad, honestly. I mean, we started off with, last night we were so happy with our truck, and my God, we started the race and we were so tight in the center off. I mean, it was a 12 tight. And these guys, we took wedge out of it. We raised the track bar. We kept changing stuff. I said we never gave up. And like I said, I think we were 19th on that last run right there. We started off 19th and drove to top 10. I wish we had right now could start the race because, like I said, but everybody I'm sure says the same thing. But I can't thank these guys enough. Menards, Toyota Tundra. It was all right. We'll go to our home track in Phoenix and see what we can do about it.
All right, the guy that wanted to win the race said it was horrible. The guy that's chasing a championship says it's pretty good. Hermie Sadler.
Well, Ty Dillon has pulled his number 3 truck into victory lane. Get some congratulations from grandfather Richard Childress. Brother Austin Dillon also on the scene. Ty, come on out of there, buddy. Ty, you're not usually a guy that talks a whole lot, but it looks like you were talking with that race performance on the racetrack tonight. Congratulations on a dominating victory.
I don't know about talking. I was talking to the Lord halfway through that race, and He's been with me the past week, and you know, nothing's possible without Him. Just an awesome night. I wanted to win here in Texas so bad, and to do it like that, I'm so proud of my guys. It's just been what a year. I mean, we've been so fast, and we should have done this a couple more times, and just proud of them guys. And thanks to Bass Pro, Johnny Morris. We love you. We miss you. University of Northwestern Ohio, Tag Heuer Eyewear. Everybody helps out. Man, I'm just so happy. Yeah, you know, on the flight down here, it was a 4-hour flight on our plane, and our buddy Ray Wright, our strength conditioning coach, has a podcast on iTunes, and his checkers or records. Go out there and listen to it. And he just really spoke to my heart a little bit, you know. And there's better things out there. You can't get worked up about little things in life, and just got to enjoy what you're doing in your life. And I'm so happy to be able to do what I do, and I'm proud of my guys. I love them to death. They're my best friends, and they got my back no matter what. And just so happy. It's the 100th win for the 3-card RCR. and it's me. And I wish it was Dale Earnhardt. I wish he was still here with us, but I'm proud to be able to do that. And thanks to the fans coming out. We love you all.
Talk about you out front and dominating. The last restart, you got shuffled back a little bit in traffic. Were you concerned that you were going to be able to get back to the front, or if your truck may change back in that traffic?
I wasn't going to lose this race. I've let too many get away this year, and whether it's my mistakes or just failures, we've let too many get away, and I wasn't going to lose this one. I want that cowboy hat, and I can't wait to get it. And man, just so happy. Woo, won in Texas.
That's Ty Dillon. He's in victory lane at Texas. Ray?
Standing by with Johnny Sauter, who comes home second after sweeping both races here at Texas. You know what? It got a lot colder here right at the very end of the race. Did that change your setup?
It must have. You know, our Carolina Nut Breakers Toyota was a little bit start every time on new tires or cold tires, and then it would really come to me about 20 laps into a run, and so I kept telling Dennis, I was like, hey, you know, just half a pound here, half a pound there, and there the last run we didn't make any air pressure adjustments, and it was really fast for 5 laps and then got 2 free. So I'm just proud of everybody at Thorsport, TRD, Triad, Toyota. Just a great night for us. I think they said we're 4th in points, so you want to win here when you've won both races in the past, but a solid night for us nonetheless, and just proud of everybody. Great pit stops tonight.
Matt Crafton gets a 10th. Johnny Sauter is second tonight here at Texas.
Another impressive run for Thorsport. Johnny Sauter looked like he had a truck. If he would have had a little more time, maybe he would have been one that could have contested with Ty Dillon. But in the end, Ty Dillon, such a dominant performance. And Johnny Sauter's teammate Matt Crafton with another top 10 finish really almost puts a stamp of, I'm going to take this 2013 championship.
All he has to do is finish 18th in the remaining 2 races, and no matter what James Butcher does, he will have that championship.
And tonight was a big night for Matt Crafton and Thorsport. They pretty much also have locked in that owner's championship. It's a little bit tougher battle for him to do that. Kyle Busch is 32 points behind, but with the consistent top 10 after top 10 every week that Matt Crafton produces, looks like they're going to win the owner's championship as well.
Coming up here next on Fox Sports 1, we have Fox Sports Live, but we'll have continued coverage from right here at the track, even within Fox Sports Live. Now let's go back to Ray Dunlap, who's got Hornaday.
Yeah, Ron finishes 3rd tonight. Great run for you. Nice little momentum build up here towards the end of the season.
This whole team's been fast, and I got to thank Smoky Mountain Herbal Snuff and all these guys support us, Andersons and Chevrolet, everybody at Joe Dinette, Bob, everybody. It takes a lot of people, and we've been running good, and I thought we were done. 32 got sideways, come across their nose and poked a hole in it, and just to retaliate and let Bruce and these guys come together. And we knew we had a fast truck. I thought I had Johnny, and I was running the top there, and he came across the wake, and it ended up getting tied up the last couple laps, but a good run for this whole NTS team.
All right, congratulations. Ron Hornaday finishes 3rd.